Okay, and we're back. So here is our piece of code that we just created, but I've made a couple of adjustments to it and I want to show you what they do. For example, when we are asking for the person's name, we store it as a variable your name, but here I have added it into your name there, but I've also added it into the title. So when we run this one, we can see that the input box for when we're asking for your age actually has your name already in the title. So let's just demonstrate that. We press play over here. Hello, what is your name? And you can see MRB, please tell us your age. That's been stored in RAM, and then our next message is, thank you Mr. B, I can see that you're 45 years old. That's because we've put these symbols in to be able to get your age and your name in there as well. Now, what we're going to do is we're actually going to start creating a game, and our game is going to be a really simple game, but it's going to have some really fantastic coding techniques in it that will teach us all about the basics behind all the fundamentals of coding that you need to know. So when I had that Word document up which talks about the types of control structures, this game is going to work with all those control structures, and I'm going to show you how they work, and I'm going to help you to understand those. So by the end of this, if you watch all these videos and you can create this game, you will be able to move on and develop this game in another program. I always say to students, if you understand the foundations of coding, the only thing you really need to learn is the language of the coding language that you're using, its rules, which is called syntax, in order for you to be able to do it. A classic example is I've been learning some Arduino code, and for example, every time you write a line you have to have a semicolon in it, or a colon after each line, or if you want to write some comments, which we'll talk about later, in here you might say da, 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 and you'll notice that that will go green because I put that symbol in to write, I probably should write the right thing, which is declare the variable for your name. Alright, so, and that's a comment. See, it goes green there now. Well, what we want to do is we're going to actually create a guess game, and what we're going to do is we're going to generate a random number, and then we're going to ask our user to actually guess what that random number is. And the fundamentals behind the control structures that we're going to use, we're going to use them so that we can actually have our user guess that. So instead of calling this program your name, I'm actually going to call this program guess game. And the first thing I need to do is start off very basically, and I need to generate a random number. So we're going to call it the integer rndNum, and then down here what I'm going to do is rndNum equals, and then I'm going to jump onto the internet and I'm going to